traveled out here to Truman Stadium to see Bogey and have him work with me a little bit and teach me how to hit hardline drives.
Like we do with all of our lessons, Pete emailed me a clip beforehand, and he thought his hips were bad, but after I watched it, I could see his hips were great. He looked very athletic. What he did do was swing at a down angle all the time. He'd cleave underneath the bottom of the ball and want to chase farther and farther out ahead. And secondly, he would have an extension of his arms beyond the rotation of his hips so that he would get lungy even more so and chase it out past the point where the hips were still connected to the hands. We saw if we could get him on a tee, he had a lot more consistent chance to work on mechanics. You sent me a YouTube clip initially, and one thing I noticed was that you thought your hips weren't very good, and I thought your hips looked good. You know, the one thing I noticed was you drifted like this all the time, and you're playing U-trip, right? Correct. So you get in the habit of looking at the pitch coming out of the pitcher's hand, and more, a guy wants to get more and more vertical and chase it out here. You kind of get that feeling sometimes?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The one thing I noticed about you that we can improve on a lot today is that when you get to the point here where everything looks pretty good in your swing and you're rotating, your shoulders stop rotating and you just kind of push and extend, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, you don't rotate around and bring that bat around in an arc and snap with your wrist. Your eyesight is always looking down. Okay. You look down, that's where you're going to want to swing, you follow me? Gotcha. You need, I think, for openers to just change the visualization a little bit. You want to drive it up like you did before, you know. Okay. So let that ball come about halfway in U-trip. Don't be looking so much at the pitcher's hand, maybe where it's leaving his hand, you're getting fooled. Look to pick up at about the halfway point where it's on its descent down. Okay. And even though U-trip is fast, it's still going to have a peak. If you pick up the point, go back, pick up the peak now, and say you want to hit one to the right center gap, okay? Okay. So I mean, when you do the bat on the hip drill, instead of looking downhill, you know, look more so where you're going to drive it and where the peak of that pitch is. It's key for the shoulders and the hips to work together, and that's something you never hear talked about too much in hitting. So just a few weeks ago, we developed this rotational trainer, and basically what we do is we eliminate the bat on the hip drill. Okay. You'll feel this here as your bat on the hip, but you'll also feel this up here tight. You know, you make it, it's 1-inch PVC pipe, you can make it for $2 or $3. But you hold it tight, so when you go ahead and do your bat on the hip drill, you get a good rotation up and feeling the shoulders open at the same angle, at the same speed. But it keeps the guy from lunging, it keeps that angle more pure, so try that once. Okay. Feel it tight against your hip points and feel it tight here. Okay. And go ahead and use that to do a few drills. Really time and drive off that back leg. Hit a couple oppo. Okay. Good. Do you see how all the elements we just worked on can be practiced pretty nicely here? Absolutely. As you rotate away, see what it does with the bat head? You know, and so if you just get the snap there, bang, you know, right there, you get a good deal of power and a good deal of consistency. Whereas before you would turn, this arm must have been bent before, see? Yeah. I think one of the reasons why you push and extend, see, now you can push and extend through wrongly. But if you had that back tight, you feel the hips and the shoulders connected here, really pulling and rotating, and then your snap's right there. Eh? Ton better. See the difference on that? Yep. Nice. If you let gravity help you over and over, that's the feel that your wrists have to have. You know, go ahead and do that. You know, take that strong so over and over. That's the feel that your wrist should have. See how you get a rhythm? You can feel. You can learn how to feel. Now take that same swing and drive the ball up in the air with it. Okay. Slow it on the back leg and take that same feel and drive it up. See what I mean? Yep. Go from lag back to impact in one frame. Where I start to hit a lot of top spin and is when I start to hit the ball too far out in front and hit foul balls. Then I go from lag back to impact, but I start to chase this out here. You want to catch at the halfway point is optimum. Say take a pitch about right here, you want to drive in the gap in right center. Okay. Pitch at the point of contact. Okay. And then just let everything else be follow through. Makes a difference, doesn't it? Rather than just swing, to visualize that makes a big difference. The ball, look up, look at the ball and look up. It's kind of a nice transition of making a little compromise on it. Better. Here you go. Say hey, 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 hey. Are you on your mark? Don't be weasel dicking me.
No,
here.
there you go.
Here, Pete, give me that pen. Don't be long dicking me here, buddy. I know. We had that one episode where I'm working on Pops' ass all the time. See, Dave, you aren't the only guy that tries to cheat on the mark on here. You have to get a Pavlov's dog collar for these guys.
Cheat, you ain't trying, right?
Drive. Drive it up. Drive it up. Use that swing to drive the ball.
Okay.
Look at that. Think there's a difference? Nice. That's a pretty nice ball, buddy. You just hit that 340.
Smells pretty good.
What do you think the difference? Talk to the camera. What's the difference?
I mean, to me, it feels like it's back here more, and it's more. You're swinging on the line you want to hit it. So I mean, it's.
Tell the camera a few of the other adjustments and changes you make. The other camera, the back one.
The biggest adjustment for me is keeping this loaded and using this as a push without drifting forward, but keeping my body angle back, and it just. I don't know, it makes the back get through the zone a lot faster, and obviously the result there is, I mean, that's 50 feet further than I was hitting them earlier today.
Nice. When you walk out here today, Pete, what will be the drills that you think you'll take with and actually do at home, Tom?
Definitely going to do some tee work for sure. Definitely some tee work, and then, you know, as far as this drill here, hitting off a tee. I mean, I think that's going to be
the 1, 2, 3 snap drill where you rotate.
I think that's going to be huge for me. Absolutely.
Will you see a benefit to using like the rotational trainer for yourself too?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think that can be even a warm-up tool for me.
Awesome to see somebody who picks it up as fast as you do, and whereas it's interesting, preconceived notions sometimes isn't what reality is, and I'm sure you see that in golf all the time. You thought it was your hips, but instead it was you know, body angle and lack of having a perfect snap, and you know, that made the biggest difference.
Okay.
Appreciate it, man. Have
Thank
a
you.
safe trip back.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Labor Day to a theater near you. The Return of Beary Jack.
Alright, tough guy Beary Jack. We got you surrounded, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
So you know what I think I'm gonna do for that, just for the hell of it?
What?
I'm gonna take this bat and hit the underside of that ball, and there ain't a thing you can do about it.
Really?
Really.
The Return of Beary Jack.